Hi, this is Ushio, and welcome back to Angels with Scaly Wings. The mod creator has made more than one mod, so as we've played the other mod, the Not So Tragic Hero mod, we can select the alternate path. So, yeah, we'll return to the regular mod later. This is a side path, so we can check this out. So be it. During my first month in the police, I was working on Anna's case about possibly illegal experiments she had been conducting in the labs. Of course, I knew what she was up to, having taken part in the research myself. She was pretty rude during our last meeting, so I suspected there had to be something she was hiding. While we hadn't yet properly analysed the evidence we'd gotten during the search of Damien's apartment, because Damien's been murdered, and he was also trying to blackmail Anna, I think that's how I remember it. It did provide us with some additional insight into the research she was doing. It wasn't enough to draw any conclusions though. At first glance, they were just scraps, copies of printed reports, and other assorted data. Naomi quickly concluded that so far, the case had little to stand on, but warranted closer inspection. With no other options left due to lack of staff, Sebastian was assigned to track Anna's movement and report anything of interest. She knew she was under close investigation, so we weren't surprised to end up with nothing at first. Soon, however, we found out she was making periodic visits to the local hospital for purposes unknown. Through enough persuasion, our department managed to convince one of the personnel to speak up, unofficially of course, about Anna's visits. Patient confidentiality was sacred here, just like back on Earth. As it turned out, she was going through cancer treatments. That explained her official project, but did little in the way of proving her guilty or innocent in the case of illegal experiments. At worst, it only gave her a stronger motive. Anna's next action, however, raised every red flag imaginable. She'd been seen talking with the chief physician at a cafe and slipping him a rather sizable envelope. 2 days later, Anna went into hospital and didn't come out. A simple query confirmed her presence at one of the wards, and it was decided to send me to pay her an unofficial visit. Okay, so Anna is ill in hospital. Oh man. Oh, if it isn't Ushio in the flesh, working for the police full time now I see. Have you come to arrest me? Because I've got some news for you. I don't care. Hey, how's it going? Why so formal? Did you finally dig up enough dirt to smear my name and jail me for good? I've heard it's pretty alright in there, and I won't have to go to work anymore. You're really not helping your case, you know. Do I look like I give a shit? Okay, I'm not here officially, so whatever you say is going to stay between us, and you're not even going to get arrested just yet. Says the person most likely carrying a recording device in their pocket. But I loved the last edition of yours. Perhaps I'll play along and humour you. So what does the precious human police officer want from a humble recovering dragoness? We know that you've passed an envelope to a chief physician. What was in it? Straight to business, I say. Let's say it was a private arrangement, and the details are none of your concern. I'm fairly content with the total resolution, though. Okay, do you want to give me some details on that? Why would I? You're looking for a way to jail me, since I've stepped on some tails in the council, and they want me out of the picture. Okay, I'm just trying to find out the truth. And if that's what you believe, then you're just a pawn, just like the rest of the fools. We're not anyone's pawn. The case is completely under our jurisdiction. Keep telling yourself that. But if you're right, maybe we could work together. How about I let you know the full story, and then you can decide what side you want to be on. After all, you're my accomplice, and while I know I won't be able to drag you along with me to jail, I can at least soil your reputation before getting locked up. Okay, I'm listening. And it's not like I'm going to lose anything by hearing you out. Smart choice. As you probably know, my current main project is finding the cure for cancer. Many scientists believe it to be beyond our reach to defeat the disease. However, I have reasons to think otherwise. Humanity also has to face cancer, but we managed to discover the cure. I know, but more about it later. Shortly after staying in my work, an ironic twist of fate, I ended up contracting that very same disease myself. As you can imagine, it quickly turned from an ambitious project into a desperate fight for my own survival. According to the prognosis doctors gave me, even with the right treatments, I had several years left at most. So you were working against the clock. Time wasn't my only enemy. All those backward traditions, laws that haven't been changed for centuries, and hard-headed politicians with their sacred ways of life did their absolute best to hamper my project in every way imaginable. Yes, I used some controversial methods in my research without the council's approval. I had no time to wait for some old people to decide if I was worthy of living or not. I assume it didn't go well though. A major understatement. What I received was a massive smear campaign, followed by police persecution for what they called illegal experiments. They knew I'd started my work already, but they couldn't tell how far I'd gone. I was forced to scrap all of my progress on the research before your colleagues got their dirty hands on it. Despite the lack of direct evidence, I was sentenced harshly. However, for the same reason, they had to suspend my punishment. Instead, I was given a list of conditions and assigned to the local production facility. So you managed to slip away from the law. So what? I lost everything I've been working on. Despite the risks, I continued my research. However, with limited resources and constant council supervision, I made little progress. And the troubles didn't stop there either. Damien, my assistant, that piece of shit, been blackmailing me since he found out I was working on Rez's samples. Did studying human samples go against the conditions of the suspended sentence? What do you think, genius? So, I helped you break the law? If this is what you're concerned about, then yeah, you did. Blackmailing explains the odd evidence we discovered in his apartment, so he was trying to get some leverage on you, but why? It's none of your concern. I didn't mind giving him what he wanted though, I just wanted to live. Either way, he got what he deserved, by the hand of that lunatic killer, and I'm not going to cry about it. Okay, I see. So you confess that you've actually performed illegal experiments both recently and in the past. Okay, good luck in court, because I'm not repeating those words again for anybody. Are you interested in the rest of the story, or did you get what you want already? Okay, go on. As I said, I'm only looking to piece together a picture of the situation. After Damien's death, I was forced to halt everything again. Your department was onto me, so I had to play it safe while the clock to my death was ticking. My condition was worsening rapidly, and the prognosis didn't look good. A couple of weeks ago, however, I had a burst of sudden inspiration. Something told me to check on several of the PDAs you brought back in the day. Inside the databanks, I found humanity's medical archives, and one of them had the very cure I spent so many years and so much effort looking for. Okay, so if you've checked out the other mod, you know that Adine, she suggests looking at the PDAs because humanity has the more advanced science, and then you're able to cure Anna. So there must have been with the time loop theory, Anna must have had a dream or something like that, and the memories flowed between worlds. So she had the idea to check it out instead. At first I was skeptical about the possibility of recreating it, but further research proved that our medicine is fully capable of doing it. So this is why you were meeting with the head physician. You're smarter than you look. I convinced him to synthesize the serum for me in the hospital lab and provide all the necessary surgery without the need of approval from the Ministry of Healthcare. As you can see, he's completed his part of the deal. So, are you cured? The doc said so. Despite the genetic differences between our species, the method worked fine for me without any alterations. Good to hear. I'll cut the polite crap. You don't care, and I know it. If you did, you wouldn't be here questioning me. No, I mean that. We might be in opposition now, but I don't want anybody to die, and I'm glad you're well. If you say so, I'm still a little torn about the ordeal myself. It feels good to no longer be dying, you know. Yet it rendered all of my efforts, all of my sacrifices, all of those years spent, meaningless. I thought it was up to me to do the impossible and accomplish something no dragon before me could, but I failed miserably. It made you the person you are now, though. A spiteful, sarcastic witch whom nobody likes. Amazing development, isn't it? Don't be so harsh on yourself. It's different. I'm simply being honest with you. By the way, I'll submit the full report about my findings in the PDAs as soon as I'm out of here in a couple of weeks. Hopefully, you guys will at least let me do that before sending my life down the drain again. Are you going to take the credit? Don't be stupid. I have no research to present with the discoveries, even if I wanted to claim them as my own. But you don't. No, honestly, I don't care what others think about me. I know I didn't make this serum or develop the surgery. I know that I failed my cancer research despite giving my everything to it. The rest doesn't matter. Whoever gets the recognition for it gets it. I don't give a shit. I guess you want to move on and leave everything related to it behind. Oh, it's been a constant reminder of my imminent death for the last few years. Cost me most of my savings, and it's also the sole source of every single freaking problem in my shitty life. What gave you this amazing idea that I wanted to leave it all behind? Okay, I get it. No need to be so sarcastic. This is my story. Do with it what you wish. I see. Thank you for your time. It's not like I have better things to do in a hospital bed all alone. So, what do you say? There might still be a way out of this for you. I think so. The council initiated the case, but it's up to our group to handle and resolve it. I need to talk with the rest of the team about our next move. You've broken the law, but the reasoning behind it is rock solid, and once your findings go public, they'll save countless innocent lives. On the other hand, rules are rules, and you can't just neglect them. Even with the best intentions in mind, you're still a criminal on several accounts. Looks like I'm at the mercy of your department then. Yeah, I can't make such decisions on my own. We'll agree on a course of action first, and then follow through with it. But remember, if you decide to oppose me, I won't go down easy. That I never doubted. I didn't get this cure just to spend my life behind bars. If you help me, however, expect the council to give you all hell unless you figure out a smart way to ruin their case. True, they are likely very interested to see you in jail. Obviously, I guess this concludes your visit here. Either way, good luck, you'll need it. Okay, thanks, good luck as well. Oh right, so that's Anna's story. The next morning, we gathered in Bryce's office to discuss the future plan of action in regards to Anna's case. Okay, the gang's all here. Morning everyone, what did you find? She actually told me the whole story, but strictly unofficially, so it can't be used as testimony. Impressive. We need more details, go on. Okay, Anna started her cancer research. Alright, let's fill him in, tell him everything. There's a lot to tell. The operation was apparently a success, so she's currently on her way to a full recovery. Damn, that's a whole pack of offences, from illegal experiments to lying under oath to bribery. We have to get to the bottom of this. She had all the reasons to do what she did though, and as far as we know, it caused no harm to anybody. I suggest that we let her be. Any repeat offences are highly unlikely. Anna was given her cure. She's no longer desperate and thus has no motive to further felony. The long talk Ushia gave her should be good enough for a deterrent. We can't let the culprits go just because they don't cause harm to anybody by breaking the law. Anna committed the crime, and it's up to us to make sure she be held responsible. I agree with the chief. The court will decide what she deserves. Our job is to provide them with the evidence to reveal the truth. You do understand that we're talking about someone trying to save herself and many others, right? The good of her actions far exceeds any damage to our traditions her actions may have done. That's not for us to decide. Okay, so Bryce is anti, Sebastian is strictly by the book, Naomi is pro. And Maverick hasn't said anything yet, but I believe that they have had a prior relationship. So it's going to be interesting to see if he has an opinion on it. And what do you expect us to do? Do you want us to mishandle the case on purpose? That's a crime by itself. You've already done so once for me, Chief. I see no reason why we shouldn't try to help her. Quite odd to hear that from you, Mav. Reza's case helped me realise a lot of things. Our laws are flawed, and they do no justice. Do you think Izumi deserved to live in the comfort of her prison for the rest of her life after killing so many? Do you think Anna should face punishment for saving herself and many others? We aren't judges to make such calls. Agreed, it's a dangerous path of thinking, Mav. Yeah, you can't just go rogue like that, man. We can make our own calls. For once, I agree with Maverick. We're competent enough to assess the damage done by the culprit and decide if the case is worth pursuing. I see no reasons for persecution. Also, I've got my doubts about the fairness of the trial should it happen. But she lied under oath during the previous case. I can't overlook such an offence. And whom did it harm? She broke the law, and responding to it is our duty. Other details are not important. In our line of work, details are everything, Bryce. A minor detail makes the difference between ripping apart a defenceless human and self-defense. Do you want me to review Reza's case again, Mav? Then we'll all be fired. Damn. We aren't just cogs in the machine or tools of the council. First and foremost, we're here to help and protect people. We're here to help people by upholding the law. The laws were created as a means to do so, not as the end goal in and of themselves. But we can't overlook or change the law to fit every case. Rules and regulations are here for a good reason. And prisons were also made to rehabilitate and re-educate criminals to make an example for others. What sort of lesson would punishing Anna teach her to others? Don't cure cancer? Don't try to save yourself from a disease? Don't break tradition just to let people die? You're pushing it. Tell me I'm wrong. You can't. In an ideal world, I'd agree with you, Naomi. However, we're bound by our own obligations. Anna helped us multiple times in the past, and they're not doing it with an easy heart, but it's our job and duty to uncover the truth and present it to the court. No, our duty is to make sure our society is safe by all means necessary. Then what makes us better than vigilantes? Nothing. We shouldn't be the ones to decide the sentence, let alone carry it out, Merv. But you're right on one thing. We can decide if the person should be further persecuted. That's part of our job. Still, we can't falsify evidence and make the wrong conclusions on purpose. Even if you believe it's the right thing to do, it'd be a crime. I can write a conclusion so logically perfect, simple minds will never find fault in it, let alone be able to prove any ill intent on my side. Wow, she's gonna wangle it. It's too late for it at this point. Anna's no friend to me. She helped me a lot at work, but I best prefer our communication when I'm in my office. She's at the production facility, and we're one phone button push away from ending the conversation at any moment. But to do what's right, I'm ready to go as far as I have to, for her sake and for anybody else. We'll end up on a slippery slope if we choose to help Anna at the cost of our work integrity. She's a culprit, but we have to proceed with the investigation like it or not. I'm not fond of it myself, but we must do what we must do. That's the nature of police duty. Regardless of personal preferences, the law should always come first. And don't forget the council. They're not going to be happy about the case being ruined. The council owes me, Bryce, and Ushio for the very existence of this world and everything in it. They wouldn't dare try to smear our names so soon after giving us the honours for stopping the comet. Speaking of who, you've been awfully quiet. What do you think? We haven't even split so far, so whatever you say will be the decisive vote. You're the chief, though. I won't sacrifice the trust of my team. We might argue, but we're a tight-knit group, and we will act as one. Oh my god, what? Oh shit. Duty comes first. I have to agree with you and Seb. Anna had good intentions, but they don't excuse the crimes she committed. We should try our best to gather as much evidence as possible. We know she's guilty, but are her crimes severe enough to warrant punishment? Let the troll decide that. I have my doubts about the fairness, but we can't be the ones to make such calls. So be it. Then let's make sure that everything is handled properly. I stand by my initial position. Mav, I understand that you probably have some personal motives in protecting Anna, but please have some faith in us. Our goal isn't to harm anyone, but uphold the law, nothing more. If you know that I'm compromised, why not remove me from the case? Because I trust that you'll support the rest of the group. Maybe you should go to Anna instead of me, and explain to her our current course of action so she won't get the wrong idea about us being enemies. You're a fool to believe that she'd cooperate with any of us. She wouldn't, that's a given, but you can help her. He's got a point. The four of us will handle the investigation, and you can work with her on how to present the case to the court. You have my permission to keep her up to date about our findings. On it. Am I required for anything else? No, you're free to go. Okay. That's the decision we've made. Any idea on where to look for evidence? Checking Anna's apartment would be a good start. Okay, I'll sign the warrant for it. Be careful and don't mess up anything in there. The other group who handled her case before us were very sloppy, so let's not repeat our mistakes. Can I come? Of course you can. Alright, cool, let's go. I haven't gotten to do any outside work in a very long time. Oh, the thrill of rummaging through somebody else's personal belongings, am I right? It's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. Okay. Digging through people's items brings me no joy. But if you're in my place, you'd be happy about any activity outside of the office. Okay, I'm just trying to make a joke. Oh, that was a good one. But I'll stay here. I'm pretty big, and I don't want to break things in her apartment. Alright, Bryce is going to stay put. Okay, let's keep the mess and damage to a minimum. It's not all about body size, Bryce. I'm doing just fine, thanks to my grace and agility. You don't have my strength and muscles, though. You have them, so I don't need to. We can chat later. First, let's get our job done. We need the keys to Anna's apartment, though. Unless you want to break in, she takes her security seriously, so don't expect to find them in a flower pot or under the rug. I can open most locks. I thought we were upholding the law. Yeah, let's have to save the lock picking for the last resort. Anna uses janitor services. They might be in possession of a copy of the keys. Good idea. I'll give him a call and come to her apartment and open the door for us. Okay, finally I'm not the one doing the errands. It's less about errands and more about the fact that they aren't allowed to pass the keys to anyone, not even the police. Which means less work for us. Plus, we get a witness who can confirm that we haven't planted any incriminating evidence. I'm not complaining. Okay, you all know what to do. I'll be waiting for your reports. Okay, off we go. I'll see you in the next episode.